and he'll say the same thing every single time in response. It's a joke. Like, niggas don't understand comedy nowadays.
Oh no, but that's the other thing is that Sneeko. But this is where I'm like, okay,
because
when
you
we
know
first met
you know what his
Sneeko,
motto is.
What's that?
His motto is his goal in life is to find truth through funny. That's what he said. He says it like fucking every.
But that's my point. Like when we first met Sneeko, or when I first met him, he was trying to do stand up. And so how you go from somebody who's supposed to be so accepting of comedy and cracking jokes and making light of things to now you're taking everything so serious that you're emulating aggressive interactions with women, or like people calling you a cuck is so triggering that you get to the point of waving fire. Like, how do we get to that point, bro? And that's what I'm saying. I just miss the old Sneeko, bro.
I do too a little bit, man.
I do want to ask, see, in the problem with the missing Sneeko.
The old Sneeko was like thought provoking.
Yeah, man.
And even when you didn't agree with him, it'd be an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
You feel me? I don't even know if I could have an interesting convo with him without it like going back to one of the fucking 2 talking points about the Matrix.
That's the problem.
The goddamn Matrix, man.
Because the thing is, like, because Sneeko will always be like the barometer. He'd be that one friend who would test the waters out, and then you'd be able to follow up him. Like, all right, cool. Sneeko said it's cool, so I'm gonna go behind him. But now I ain't got that friend no more. Like, for example, now I know not to go to sex parties because of Sneeko. Even if that was a moment in my mind, I know now not to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Sneeko, like open relationships. Sneeko, he did not put a restriction on how big the other person's dick had to be when she's having sex with him. Personally speaking, if I were to be in one, I now know it's a 6-inch limit with her. All right, so no 10 inches, because we asked him that in the podcast. Another example, like I personally want to get my ass eaten, bro.
Oh,
so
come on, dog.
No, listen, I need to ask someone, but I feel like Sneeko would have been open to that at one point, so I could ask him like, "Yo, Sneeko, what's that feel like, bro?" And he outlined it to me. And if he said it's a go, then I might follow up on that shit, man. But I can't no more. Sneeko he's lost, man. No, he's found. He's definitely found.
Let's get in the ring, talking all this shit, saying I'm fake red pill, fake alpha. If I'm fake alpha, I never called myself alpha once. Then come and fight me. Or no, just hide behind the clout thing. Go ahead.
We know who Sneeko was before, introspective. He was open enough to acknowledge that he's insecure, that he has a lot of things to work on. He openly admitted those things. And again, that's very admirable, and I applaud him for that. But now when you get here to where like it's so anti what you were before, to where if anybody calls you insecure, you're like, oh, not me. I'm alpha. And it's like, bro, but you openly admitted that.
No,
and
he never said he was alpha.
Oh, my bad. High value. I'm high value. I'm enlightened. Took the red pill. So it's like it's the reason why it comes across as so contradictory is because it's opposite of what he said. Because a lot of people have said a lot of things, but if it's been consistent, then that's just what it is.
That's true, but like he's changed so much that like the thing that bothers me about Sneeko is like, yeah, he has changed. Like I don't think he's capable of having conversations without falling back on the same few talking points anymore. And I think a lot of it is rooted in the fact that now he's following this red pill, and the red pill really just is the pursuit of truth. We're all under the same pursuit at the end of the day. We just call it something different. But the only issue with Sneeko's pursuit is that like he's become like egregious in his pursuit. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like, and I don't know if you know this, Sneeko, about yourself, but like it feels like everything you say because you think it's gonna get you more clicks. That's the best way to explain it. Like you think the egregious joke about about how she needed to suck my dick, I'm just gonna fucking give you. It just has to be more extreme. The take has to be more extreme. Like I don't know if you follow his Twitter, but yo, the shit he be saying, the jokes, it's like it's just extreme to be extreme. The extremity of it doesn't even add to the humor. It's just extreme.
Yeah.
And you know it's because it's working.
Yeah.
When Sneeko was making interesting, thought-provoking videos.
We'll get back to this, but first, since no one asked, the definition of insecurity is uncertainty or anxiety about oneself. Lack of confidence. And I'll show you more of the interviews, but they're not that insightful because women will always say something about body image and men will always say something about being weak. Am I pretty? And am I gay? And the best footage I could put here is of my real home city of New Haven, Connecticut. Everyone thinks I'm from New York because it's close by. I was born there, lived there for years, and I don't correct them because New York sounds way cooler. How much we act based on validation is something I've always thought about, but I never see anyone talk about it. We value being real so much, and I think seeking validation is the #1 disease prohibiting it.
Everybody is insecure about something, and I think that how we act can all be boiled down to what bothers us the most.
It's like that guy with the huge American flag Monster Energy pickup truck with the balls on the back has a small pee-pee.
Nice camera, man.
Thank you. You got something to say?
Nah.
Deep down, we're trying to prove someone wrong, and it influences so many decisions we make. Like this guy who started flexing $1 million unsold art because I made fun of his bun.
This is $1 million piece.
Okay, you sold it?
It's on sale.
Well, good luck.
But now he's having a crazy take after crazy take after crazy take. He's doing better than ever and making more money than ever. Like, he might be banned off all the platforms, but now he's selling this fucking course to niggas on Discord. I bet he's making plenty bank off of that. I don't know what the fuck he's being paid from Rumble, but like, definitely has a bigger profile. He trends like, I saw him trending twice in the last week over dumb shit that he said or done.
Oh, well, no, one of the times is because of the cuck.
Yeah.
The cuck holder.
I know.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't know if that's
I
something.
know.
I don't know if that's on the trend for
But
it.
he was bragging about it.
Because he admitted his cuck story. That was a 2-year-old clip. That's the crazy part that people don't know. That's not a recent clip. That's like a 2-3-year-old clip about how he watched his girl get plowed next to him. And
What the fuck?
he did. I mean, did he not?
I mean, why'd you use that verb?
I've said it before. Plowed.
I know.
Which one we use? Blown out?
Fucked?
Fucked. Rammed? Fucked. Her moaning, toes curl and shit like that, and how he had to just get up and he just couldn't do it anymore, but then he did it again. So yeah, like that right there, like that's the reason why he was trending. That's all I'm saying.
I know.
Yeah.
But he bragged about it like, oh, look at how popular I am, basically. I don't know if you... Do you follow him on Twitter?
He did?
Yes, he's like the life of Sneeko, trending all the time.
No, I mean like he bragged about how much he's trending right now?
Yes.
Oh, then okay, I see what you're saying.
I'm telling you, it feels like he's doing everything he does because he knows it's gonna get more clicks. He knows it's gonna get more attention.
That's tough.
And it's odd.
Because what's crazy is I never took Sneeko as that person when I first met him.
Me neither, actually.
I never took him as that person.
Me neither.
I never.
And the interesting part is, like, one of Sneeko's big criticisms to, like, channels like ours, and he says it all the time on his streams, because I see clips of it, is like, well, commentary channels just ride the fence. But it's interesting that anytime you don't have, like, an extreme opinion on something, like, the extreme niggas be calling it riding the fence. But this is my opinion. I don't think Sneeko's a fucking horrible human being. Rage asked an interesting question at the end of his reaction when he was reacting to all this, because apparently now they got beef too. And you're YRG, so this might be relevant to you. But Rage...
I'm YRG in playback, so I'm gonna have double beef now. When this video uploads.
Rage asked, like, is he capable of redemption? And it was interesting. I saw basically most of the chat, 80% of it say no. But then I thought, like, well, this nigga's not Hitler.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
he just has, like, pretty extreme ideology right now.
like he doesn't got a
he
body.
exercises it with, like, crazy jokes that attract attention because of how wild they are. That's not capable of redemption? Are you crazy?
But wait, what did he do that's not redeemable?
That's what I thought. So I said yes, but, like, everybody was disagreeing with me. And so...
Is it the cuckoldery?
I don't think it was the cuckold. I think it's just people think he himself is extreme. But the point I'm trying to make is you don't have to, that doesn't have to be your brand for you to just have and give your opinion on things. And to be honest with you, most of our opinions is not gonna be he's an asshole, he's the worst human being ever, or he's the greatest human being ever. It's just a fucking flawed human being who went down a very odd, strange path over the past few years, and this has been the results of it. It doesn't mean that he's not capable of redemption. I simply just don't fucking believe that. And the thing is people want to pick sides. That's it though. Like, you either hate him or you love him. The people that love him, they're gonna tune into his streams, they're gonna like his posts on Twitter, they're gonna believe what he says about the Matrix. And the people that hate him think like he's the fucking pit of the earth, like this person needs to be fucking exterminated from the planet and it's gonna be better for everybody. But for some reason, if you don't have one of those two opinions, you're riding the fence.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think you're just finding
the nuances
of life.
Yeah.
And it doesn't gotta be binary. I don't think Sneeko's a dog shit human being, even though he's done some pretty dog shit things, like the things he said about Moist Critical's significant other.
Yeah.
Like some of the
and some of
awful
the clips,
jokes that he be
jokes,
making.
yeah.
And some of the conversations he be having, some of the people he platforms, like that racist fuck that was talking about how like there shouldn't be like interracial relationships because you know some people are just like this, and he was like, oh, that's not that crazy. Like some of the things you do is fucking weird, Sneeko, and you do it under the guise that you're being open and you're being open-minded, but you're really not though, because when someone has an opposing belief to you, usually you're not willing to listen anymore. And the old Sneeko that most of the internet remembers would have been willing to listen and have a conversation, would have argued his point, and if he was wrong, he would have admitted he was wrong. There was a time where you were open to dialogue and it would make for an interesting conversation. I feel like nowadays your dialogue is just content so that you can hammer home your point about the Matrix for the 55th time that night.
Too much extreme can definitely come across as fake or phony. I haven't been keeping up with him enough to know like the things that he said that you just insinuated about, like how, oh man, I'm trending because of da-da-da-da, because that's kind of weird, and I just never pegged Sneeko to be that type of person. But hey man, I just miss the old Sneeko. Sneeko, man.
He does it a lot in different contexts. He'd be like, oh, look at them trying to cancel me, but I'm boxing in Dubai right now. I don't know how to explain it to you, but like a lot of his posts now are just like, look, as they try and hold me back, look what I'm capable of doing.
Yeah, that's kind of
Which is like, I mean, I guess if you buy into the ideology that the Matrix has become a meme now. I don't know if you know that.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, man.
No, man, let us know in the comment section below. Y'all think Sneeko's a cuck, man? I don't think he is. I think, and if he is, if he is, that's fine. Like, that's fine. Yo, Destiny had me pissed off because he thought like we were making fun of him. I'm like, nah, bro, he's cool. Being a cuck is okay. Like, if that's what you want to do, that's fine, bro. If that's your bag, no shame. We don't shame around here, bro. Damn. If you want to get cucked out, or you like the idea of you having sex with your significant other and a man eating her out while your dick is inside of her, bro, that's you, bro. Like, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do, bro. But yo, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, man. What do y'all think about Sneeko, the back and forth, and if you think he's a cuck or not, bro? I say no. But, you know, let us know your thoughts, and until next time, we'll see you all later. Peace.
Hello guys and gals, me Mudahar, and today I want to show you some of the most evil stuff that I've ever seen. Now ladies and gentlemen, this is related to computers, okay? Now I want to start off by saying, what do you think is the most dangerous job ever, okay? Now I'm sure some of y'all are going to go like, astronaut, okay? My suit cracks in space, I'm dead. You know, that's one thing. But you know what the difference between an astronaut and a journalist is? Both jobs have danger, okay? Journalists just, on average, don't get paid nearly as much as an astronaut. Now, of course, those are some wild, wacky comparisons. Obviously, astronauts are putting themselves in some real danger. There's a lot more specialization of skills there. But the overall point is, journalism, for those people involved, is really just a labor of love, a passion. And I'm not talking about, you know, journalism that's like, you know, pretty lighthearted. You know, somebody at BuzzFeed, you know, retweeting I found this cooking video on Facebook. They put cheese on a pretzel, you loser. That's not new. I do that on a Tuesday night. And of course, you know, you go onto the game journalist websites. Top 10 Resident Evil games. What, are you going to list off the whole series? There's not that much, okay? Christ. And somewhere in the list, they're brain dead enough to put like Operation Raccoon City. So congratulations. But today's evil thing comes at us with actual USB bombs. Now, this is a flash drive, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm going to tell you I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think that plugging in a USB drive is smart, especially one that you don't know? Now, if your answer is anything but a resounding no, then let me just tell you right now, never plug in a flash drive that you don't trust. Did you find it at your buddy's house? Don't plug it in. Did you find it at your dad's house? Don't plug it in. Did you find it at the priest's house? Don't plug it in. Did you find it at the weird, shady crack house? Definitely don't plug it in. You know, if you have your own flash drive, that's where it is. And even then, you never plug it into a weird computer either. Now, of course, one of the reasons for that is one of the biggest vectors for malware is a flash drive. Now, in my experience in my professional life of working and dealing with it, anytime somebody plugged in a flash drive to their computer, you know, just out of nowhere, there was a lot of yelling back and forth, okay? It was just not something you do. What I've witnessed in the last 24 hours is something genuinely spooky. There is a group of people who have sent USB drives to journalists. Yes, journalists investigating serious issues like criminals and corruption, who have actually had USB drives loaded with actual high explosive material inside it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to start this off with, the country of Ecuador has a massive issue regarding obvious criminal gangs, drug gangs, you name it. A lot of Latin countries do, unfortunately. There's a lot of corruption with the government, a lot of bad stuff. Anytime I've done journalism content on this channel where I've covered things like you know, crypto stuff, the scariest I've ever had is like an influencer threatening to sue me, which whatever, we'll go back and forth in court. I do remember when I covered things like, you know, trafficking hub, for instance, there was a lot of I guess you could say, emotion on both sides, and there were people that were like saying, hey, maybe you should watch over your shoulder. These are some really powerful characters. Now me, you know, that might be enough to kind of freak me out a little bit, but generally the people who were working here, the journalists in Ecuador specifically, were covering some really, really dangerous people. People working in the government high up, They were trying to expose corruption and, of course, criminal operations, cartels. If you go against some of these powerful people, they will kill you, okay? This is not like a conspiracy. This is not something shocking. You will die if you cover people like that, okay? These are some of the most evil people on the face of the earth. And if you get in the way between them and their bag, they will kill you, put you 6 feet down under. They'll kill your whole family. They'll throw you into the most awful ways to die. This is a reality that some people have to deal with. You might be like, why would somebody choose to expose it? And that's because some people care about the truth, they have their integrity, and they care about making the world a better place. And if that means exposing the evils of society out for the public to see and trying to stop it that way, for them, dying is worth it. Now, of course, what happened over here was a TV station in Ecuador had received a USB drive that had RDX explosive in it. Now, for those of you wondering what RDX explosive is, don't worry, please don't enter a watch list. I'll do it myself. I'm already ethnically challenged, so I'll get on the watch list for you, okay? RDX is a nitramine explosive compound that can be utilized as a propellant, gunpowder, or high explosive depending on the initiation type. RDX has both military and civilian applications. As a military explosive, RDX can be used alone as a base charge for detonators or mixed with other explosives like TNT to form cyclotols, which produce a bursting charge for aerial bombs, mines, and torpedoes. Yeah, it's a pretty nasty explosive. RDX is not produced commercially in the United States. Only way that it gets produced is the Holston Army Ammunition Plant in Tennessee. Yeah, this is a very tightly controlled explosive, but unfortunately, it's kind of all around. It's like Semtex, like actual explosive materials. Yeah, right here. RDX is a synthetic chemical. This is from the government website, the EPA, by the way, so I'm not going to be on a watch list for this. Primarily as a military explosive. RDX accounts for a large part of explosive contamination at active and former US military installations. So to show you guys just the inside of this news station, inside this room, you can see a bunch of operators, police officers, bomb squad people in Ecuador huddling around a computer, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the computer wasn't damaged. You can see that it still turns on. But what you're looking right over here is like the small debris from an exploded USB drive. Now, thankfully, the silver lining over here is not all of the explosive material in this drive activated. In fact, a journalist, in this case, who actually had it, is currently being sought for prints. Not so much of a very deadly attack. No one was ever seriously injured. Now, what had happened was one of the people that obviously these reporters were investigating on, there were around like 5 flash drives that were sent all over to various news and television stations. It appeared that only 2 of the drives in this case actually had an explosive material in it, at least confirmed. So what had happened over here was instead of malware being put into the flash drive, there was around 1 milligram of RDX explosive put into a flash drive. Now, to understand, these things are very tiny, and again, like I told you, explosive stuff, you don't need a whole lot of it, especially with high explosive stuff like RDX, to cause some serious damage. So what had happened was, effectively, they put 1 milligram into the actual USB system, and the detonator device was the USB material that was connecting into the actual system. So the way that it worked was because it got fed the voltage from the actual USB drive, it had basically triggered that explosive material. Now, this is a little bit unconfirmed, but thankfully, because USBs are notoriously annoying to plug into a flash drive, we've all done it, okay? We've all tried sticking a flash drive back and forth different ways around.
Now, from what I understand, the reason why this wasn't as bad as, it is right now was because the actual payload, the RDX, couldn't completely set off since I believe the USB was passed through a hub, meaning that it didn't actually get the full explosive payload. It didn't actually get the full voltage for the detonation mechanism, which was the, USB system plugging into a computer to set off because it was done through a hub. Had it been plugged in directly to a computer and all of it done right, we would have absolutely had a much different scenario kick off.
So of course the flash drive here was this one in particular. It looks like a pretty innocuous drive. But of course within this drive was an actual explosive device that could have seriously harmed somebody who plugged it in. Now, you might be like, why would somebody plug this in? Generally, of course, if you're like a reporter, you probably plug this in because you thought you were getting some hot, juicy dirt on whoever you were looking up at, whoever you were finding, maybe some proof. But of course, this person, the people behind it, obviously sent it in the hopes that maybe the computer would be blown up, but also maybe the reporter would actually be harmed in the process. What makes it scary is the amount of explosive that existed in it. If they had plugged it into an actual computer and they had their hands on the drive, they would literally not be able to open jars of pickles after that had happened. They would literally lose a goddamn hand in this case, which makes this a particularly evil scenario that it actually happened. And of course, it's one of the first times I've ever seen like a USB drive actually used as an explosive device. Now, if you ever work in like a newsroom, obviously if you have like a press mail room where tons of stuff gets sent in, you probably have it constantly monitored. You're probably checking every piece of package that you're getting. What scares me a little bit over here is how this got through the mail. I know most country systems of mail transit isn't exactly the same, and obviously things skip by, but at this point, I'm pretty sure that these have to probably start getting x-rayed because of stuff like this. This is a scenario where people can actually die. This is like a straight up Hitman level of like getting somebody, like Hitman 3, like literally using the most goofy, weird, tiny device to cause some serious actual damage. And it's one of those things where it's not even a computer hack anymore. This is just straight explosive devices being sent around, literal IEDs that people plug into their system. One good example of this is provided by one of these security researchers. This is like MG, who actually showcased exactly what this is in a very proof of concept manner. So inside this MacBook, you can kind of see over here that they're just watching a video. They plugged in a USB drive. And of course, at one point, it will pop. So if you actually look at it really carefully, as it's plugged in, receiving power, it starts sparking and boom, actually went off. And ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much like a very, very, very good proof of concept. Obviously, no one here is going to teach you how to do this, and you shouldn't learn how to do this. Could you imagine had that actually been like proper Semtex, something high explosive that can actually straight up kill you? Now, in a lot of cases, if you're talking about a USB drive to infect somebody, one of the worst examples was like 2008 when literally somebody had plugged in a flash drive into an actual like classified US computer system and caused one of the worst US military data breaches in history. Yeah, that's how bad things can happen when you plug in viruses. But it seems unfortunately now when reporters are plugging in flash drives into their systems, people that are covering some serious stuff, they're actually straight up risking death. Literally because they're trying to expose the truth. Some wild, freaky shit that we live in. And honestly, this is the first time I've ever actually seen it this bad. Ladies and gentlemen, some truly, truly evil shit. But if it's one thing you learned is never, ever plug a flash drive into your system that you don't trust. Now, generally in most cases, you'll probably get some standard generic ransomware on your system. But if you're somebody that is a journalist and you're somebody trying to expose the truth, whether it be on YouTube, whether it be in like mainstream media, be careful plugging a flash drive in, because as evidenced, literally these tiny devices probably slip through tons of postal services that probably aren't getting x-rayed. I would have to imagine this is incredibly difficult to do in the United States, especially considering their history with like postal services and bombs. So given the fact that this is happening around the world, be very careful plugging in a device if you are a journalist, because chances are if you're trying to expose somebody, they just found a way to get to you without ever having to step foot in the same room. Just send you a flash drive, give you a little bait to dangle, give you a little evidence right here, and as soon as you plug it in, you're either missing a hand or missing your face. Total Gus Fring style. Wild, wild shit, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it. I felt like covering something interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mudahar, and I am out.
These are the martinis. Those look like some potatoes of some sort. But this is the vibe that it's giving. So this looks like a fancy restaurant, right? This is the research that I'm doing when I go to a restaurant. And that looked like a burger with some cheese. Look at this woman. I'm even going to the extent of hitting search and I'm typing in Marcel Atlanta. And I'm looking at the hashtag because I want to know what type of people. Oh, be so they can't see it. You can't see it. You can. Oh, I switched. My bad. I switched screens. My bad. Let me go back. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. I am on their Instagram page. Look at their Instagram page. This is giving me a vibe of what the restaurant is like. This is giving me real hey, this is what this restaurant is like vibes. I know what type of time I'm in for. Look at that cheeseburger right there. I know what type of time we're on. Then I'm going to the search bar and I'm searching the hashtag Marcel Atlanta. I'm seeing how people are dressed. You know why? Because it's giving me an understanding as to how the restaurant is. And I know somebody's like, yo, what does this have to do? Look at that. Uh-oh. Oh, cacio e pepe. Yeah. Somebody's asking, what does this have to do with the cheese? It has everything to do with it. This is how you properly go on dates. Look at these people's plates. Yo, their french fries were fucking phenomenal. Look at how they're dressed. So when I tell her to get dressed to go out, I'm going to set the standard. I'm going to tell her, yo, you need to dress on this type of level. You need to have some good clothes on. It's not a t-shirt and jean establishment. And that's the problem. Y'all don't date, so y'all don't know what's going on. Y'all don't know what's actively going on. I'm letting her know, hey, this is not a t-shirt and jean establishment. This is on a different level. This is setting the scene for the date that you're about to go on, right? This is setting everything up. This is setting everything up. So, with that being said, we go back to the menu. Now that I have an understanding as to what the restaurant is, I'm going back. I'm looking at the menus. Dinner, beverages, dessert, wine library, cigar. I'm looking at everything that this restaurant has to offer. Not saying that I want it. I'm not saying that I want it. I'm saying that I need to have an understanding. These are the prices for the cigars. Do I smoke cigars? No. She might smoke a cigar. She might want some brandy. She might want some scotch. She might want some whiskey. She might want that. So I need to be prepared for when I do this. I'm telling you this. We're going to talk about the cheese in a second, but I'm telling you this because this is how you need to date. You need to prepare yourself for the inevitable. You need to prepare yourself for any and everything possible. This is the dinner menu. As you scroll through the dinner menu, it's in French, so I don't know. Oysters of the moment. You need to understand that if she gets 6 oysters, this is what it's going to be. If she decides to get the Le Petit Plateau, it's going to cost you $114. If you want that, it's going to cost you $114 as well. If I want the hors d'oeuvres, this is going to be the price. Salads, that's the price. If I want the steak, that's going to be the price. And this is also right here. If I need to add something on, that's going to be the price. If I want beef Wellington, I need to know there's 24 hours that needs to be said beforehand. I don't want to get there, ask for the beef Wellington, and they get mad because they don't have it. I want to be more prepared. I want to be prepared as possible. I want to be as prepared as possible. And Brandon, dates ain't always got to be 5-star. You're absolutely right. No matter the level of restaurant, especially if I haven't been there before, if I'm not familiar with that restaurant's game, if I'm not familiar with that restaurant's game, then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to familiarize myself with that restaurant's game. I'm going to know. I don't want any surprises because I want to go out and I want to be able to enjoy myself. So with that being said, yes, I'm going to look and see if the restaurant's cheese was $3. I'm going to want to know. I need to actively know. I need to actively know. I don't want to go there. I don't want to get surprised. I don't want somebody to say, yo, this actually costs X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. Yo, they're writing so many articles about this $3 cheese. There are so many articles. So many articles about this $3 cheese. This is insane. So, with that being said, I'm going to explain to you why the dude was cheap. And how cheap is worse than being broke. And in this instance, how he is cheap, and she was, in my opinion, she was right for leaving. She was right for leaving. Yeah. I know a lot of people don't want to actively hear that, but she was right for leaving. It is what it is.
He's heating up.
She was right for leaving. If you're cheap here, you're going to be cheap forever. You're going to be as cheap as you can be forever. I don't care if you say, "Oh, well, I spend more money on somebody else, and I try to hold back on myself." I don't even want to run into the issue where you're sacrificing enjoyment for a couple dollars, specifically $3. Specifically $3. We're not talking about a lot of money. We're not talking about a lot of money, and I think that's the thing that pisses me off the fucking most. We're not talking about a great sum of money. We're talking about $3. You can say all you want now, but the little things add up to be big things later on. They just do. They really, really, really just do. If you think that this isn't a potential sign, on the first date, they picking up their phone all the time, they're not engaged in the conversation, I'm thinking something's wrong. They got all these excuses for why they were late, that's a red flag. I'm thinking something's wrong. Now, everybody has a different threshold as to, what would make them continue dating this person or would stop making them date a person. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff at my age now and at every other age I was before that made me think to myself, hey, I won't pursue that woman. That woman's not for me. That woman is not for me. It was one time I was working at Lens Crafters at Macy's. One of the girls told me, "Yeah, I need a man's man." And I said, "What does that mean? What does a man's man mean?" And that's when she told me that she needed somebody that could treat her as good as her father. I don't need to figure out anything else about you. You could be a great person. That one thing right there, cut it off. I told y'all about the time where I was dating where I was seeing this one young lady, and she was trying to do too much comparing me to her father. Oh, my father does this for my mother, and this would be so nice. And when I get my man, this is what he gonna do. And at the same time, she was saying how much she wanted to be in a relationship with me. Whoa.
Why ain't no way, boy?
Yo, cut that out. Cut that.
Why ain't no way, boy?
No, it's not gonna be me. It's definitely not gonna be me. Y'all talking about this is just $3 cheese. He's cheap or he's not cheap. This is not a sign of the future, X, Y, and Z. I'm telling you right now, there's too many small things that at men, because there are some men that are out there that have low standards, who believe that women control all this stuff when it comes to dating and in the dating world, how they have more power than you. No, not at all. You need to raise your standards, stick by them, and be strict with them. Period. And as you get older and as you develop more, you need to change your standards accordingly. Your standards when you were 17, 18, 19, 20 should not be the same standards that you have at 24, 25, 26, 27. They just should not be. The stuff that I was putting up back then, definitely not putting up with it now. Let me find out. You're Xing yourself out the conversation. You are Xing yourself out of the conversation. I'll run into a woman with no car.
Oh man, not again.
Not again. I run into a woman with no job.
Oh man, not again.
And definitely don't hit me with that I'm in between BS.
Oh man, not again.
You hit me with that I'm in between BS. You know what I'm gonna say?
Come on, man.
Come on.
Get your, well, I tell you what, the only thing that I want to do is get in between that ass. That's what I want to do. The only thing that me and you can do is you let me get in between that ass. Other than that, we don't got nothing serious to be talking about. I can't do nothing for you. I can't, period. Y'all know my other one. Oh, I got a good relationship with my dad.
Oh man, not again.
It's not gonna happen. Not with me. I can't fuck with you. I can't. Yeah, period. Point blank. I don't got no female friends. Females be jealous.
Oh man, not again.
Nope, not for me. Something's wrong with you. Something's wrong with you. I'm to the point now. There's a degree threshold.
Oh man, not again.
There's a career threshold.
Oh man, not again.
There's a dollar threshold.
Oh man, not again.
Somebody asked on Twitter the other day. They were like, "Yo, is career / job one of the first conversations you have when you date?" Absolutely, absolutely. And I don't care what nobody says. I'm not vain or whatever for thinking about that.
He's heating up.
I want to date seriously. I want to build a relationship with somebody. And I want to have a family that has a certain standard one day. And I need to know that you have the earning potential. And outside of the earning potential, you have the ability to work. You have the wherewithal to work. You don't mind rolling up your sleeves and working.
He's on fire.
Right? You don't mind doing that. I got some family members, I swear to God, they cannot keep a job.
Oh man, not again.
I would never date them. I love them to death as family members, but by God, I would never date them. I would never touch them with a 10-foot pole when it comes to that dating shit. You know why? And they women. They bums. They are bums. They are certified. That shit is bummy to me. That shit is bummy to me. When I hear you've had 3, 4, and 5 jobs, and somebody said when somebody says that's okay, well, at least they can find a job. They can find one job. Yeah, but they can't keep that shit. They can't keep it. What's the point? If you can't keep it, everybody can find a job. Can you keep that motherfucker? That's the real thing. No, I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. I promise you, I'm not doing that. So oh man. If this person is doing 300 for a day. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. Absolutely not. There's certain things that I just won't put up with. I can guarantee you I don't want to put up with. And some people might say that I'm shallow. Some people might say that I'm vain, all that stuff. But I'm just not doing that. I talked to my coworker the other day. And tell me if this is crazy. It's 24 people watching. Shouts out to y'all. We know it's late at night. I'm glad y'all are joining me for the stream. I got 2 splashes and a hot high. I wanna ask y'all a question. One of my coworkers talked about going to one of those restaurants where they don't pay for refills. They don't pay for refills, and you go up in there and you're asking, for a drink, a soda or something like that, and they don't do free refills. You got to pay for them. Would you have a problem if that person got like 4 to 5 refills? Would you have a problem if that person got 4 to 5 refills? I'm talking about a drink. It's about $2.97. whatever. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to like a Applebee's menu. Let's go to I don't know, a Longhorn. Let's go to a Longhorn's menu. Longhorn Steakhouse. You feel what I'm saying? Casual dining. Let's look at this. Yo, shut up right now. Oh, well, I might have to order now. I think I can do this. Yeah, this one. We want this one right here. We want to order to go. We'll get a fillet. You feel me? We'll get it well done for the bit. We'll get broccoli on the side. We'll get a mixed green salad. We'll get ranch. Who cares? We don't want any of that. We don't want any of that. Special instructions. That's cool. Am I allowed to ever add a drink? Can I add a drink? We want a drink. Okay, drinks. Soda, tea, lemonade is $3.39. $3.39. Would you have a problem if they got 4 drinks? $3.39 times 4 is crazy. Hold on. 4. $3.39 times 4 is $13.56. That's damn near an appetizer. That's an appetizer on drinks. And outside of that, I'm telling you, there's certain things that I'm watching that you do on this first date that makes me not want to date you. Yo, why are you drinking 4 sodas on a date, especially as a woman?
Oh man, not again.
Why are you drinking 4 sodas on a date? Why? Are you not questioning that? Chat, let me know. Chat, let me know. You and I see B-Souls get what you want. If you can get 4 sodas, I'll pay for it. This will be the last time you see me. This will be the last time you see me. Yo, take 1 water. Get 1 water. You know why, B-Souls? And you know why, whoever else is watching this, why I'm so strict with the dating and why I look at these small things that lead to big things. If you drink 4 sodas, I know for a fact your pee is brown.
Oh man, not again.
I know for a fact your pee is brown. I know for a fact you get UTIs regularly.
Oh man, not again.
You get yeast infections regularly.
Oh man, not again.
Your pussy's not hitting on nothing.
Oh man, not again.
And that's a fact. I'm not making that up.
Come on, man.
Come on!
I'm not making that up. Your skin is bad.
Oh man, not again.
Right? You need to go to the doctor. You might have diabetes.
Oh man, not again.
Right? If you can consume that much soda, something is wrong. In one sitting, we talking about Longhorns. We're not talking about a restaurant that's making you wait 3-4 hours. We're talking about Longhorns. If you are guzzling, what's that mean? If you are guzzling 4 sodas, if you are guzzling, what's that mean? If you are guzzling 4 sodas, that pH is toxic.
Oh man, not again.
That's nasty, bro. Come on. Come on. Not going for that. Not going for that one. Not going for that one. If we get to ordering, ooh, let me get the shrimp poppers and let me get the wings. Okay. Hey, turn that up. I feel that. The shrimp poppers and the wings as an appetizer is great. That's great. Let me get the shrimp poppers, the wings, and I want to get a steak. Hey, man, live it up. Live it up. But you know what's going off in my head? You know what's going off in my head when somebody orders 2 appetizers, an entree, and a dessert? you fucking lost your mind.
Oh man, not again.
First and foremost, if you're eating all that, something's wrong.
Oh man, not again.
If you can sit at a table and you can eat all that, 2 appetizers, 1 entree, 1 dessert. Honestly, if we keeping it 100, if you can eat an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert, something is wrong.
Oh man, not again.
Something is wrong. But I'll let it slide, I guess. Maybe this is the only thing you ate all day. I don't know. It's whatever bullshit excuse you got. If you get 2 appetizers and whoa, you need to stop it. You need to something is wrong here. Something is wrong here. No, and I don't want to hear, oh, well, I haven't eaten all day. I don't want to hear that. I do not want to hear that. Tough titty. You're not gonna get it off on me. And Samuel sees exactly where I'm going. Right? So you order all that food. You don't eat it. Ooh, let me to-go box it. Hold on. Whoa.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
What the fuck you think this is? The food bank?
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
You must think this is charity.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
You think this Goodwill.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
The soup kitchen.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
The free lunch line.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Reduced lunch.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
I'm talking about the free food giveaway.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Goodwill.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
The Salvation Army.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
This is not the handout spot.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
This ain't a church event.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Ain't nobody just buying up all this food for you to take home and fill up that refrigerator at that broke ass nigga house.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
You think this is a game.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
You've lost your goddamn mind.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
You need to stop, for real. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, fellas, if she orders 2 entrees, a meal, and the dessert, and she barely eats it, she takes it home, she's doing 1 or 2 things. It ain't no tapeworm. She's feeding a baby or a nigga.
Oh man, not again.
She's feeding a baby or a nigga, y'all.
Come on, man.
Come on. Oh Lord.
She's feeding a baby or a nigga. That's it. Simple as that. She's feeding a baby or she's feeding a man. And I'm not doing 1 of 2 things. I'm not dating no bitch with no baby, and I'm not dating no bitch with no man.
Oh Lord.
But these are the little red flags. I'm not gonna brush that off. I can't brush that off. I'm not gonna say to myself, you know what? She's had a hard day at work. She's had a hard day at work. Sometimes both. Sometimes both. Hey, sometimes it's both. Sometimes it's both. I'm going to spend the money, CJ, because I don't want to ruin the experience. Dating is already overrated. There's something out there that says, you know, men go in debt for dating. X amount of men, here it is. X amount of men go in debt for dating. 22% of millennials are going into debt for dating. Everything is getting more expensive. In fact, 22% of millennials aged 26 to 41, that's me, and 19% of Gen Zers 18 to 25 have gone into debt from what they have spent on dating, according to a September Leading Tree survey. Overall, survey respondents said that they spend about 91 on a night out on average. Respondents who identify as women said that they would spend an average of 81 on a date, while respondents who identify as men said they would spend on average 104 on a date. Now, there's a plethora of problems in this right here. There's a bunch of problems right here. Folks think that dates have to be 2 parts. Folks think that dates have to be all this, that, and the third. But we could talk about the more extreme dates. I just showed y'all Marcel's menu, right? I just showed y'all Marcel's menu. Let's go back. Let me stop sharing this screen and let me share another tab real quick. I just showed y'all, and this is down the line, so this is a little bit more fancier. This is a little bit more fancier. Let's say you go ahead, because we sharing the hors d'oeuvres. We might share. Let's say we share the shrimp scampi. That's just $24.95. She's a woman, so she gets a salad. You know what I'm saying? She gets the little Caesar, so that's $14.95. These are big boy dates though, so I don't expect everybody to do it. Listen, when me and my girlfriend went there, they said just go ahead, get the not the bone in, but get the what did they say get? They say get a steak for two, not the porterhouse, not the big boy. I think it was this one right here. But you can go ahead and get this Marcel's cut, because we got the Marcel's cut. That's another $57.95. That's the cheapest steak on the menu. Right? That's the cheapest steak on the menu. And then we got the risotto lobster. And we splitting these. And then we also, you gotta get you some veggies on the side. Got some asparagus. Got you some asparagus. I did the math wrong. I literally typed it in wrong. And that's not with getting no drink or nothing like that. That's $167.49 right there. $167.49, and that's on the cheaper end. That ain't too bad. My girlfriend's small. She don't really eat like that. Right? So when we talk about dating can be expensive. If you think I'm going to Marcel, hey, we didn't talk about tip. You're right. And I'm telling you, that's the restaurant I was talking about on the podcast when they they give you that good service. That's the nigga that tied my shoe. Shout out to him. But what I'm saying is, look at how expensive dating is. Now, with dating being that expensive, how often do y'all think that I'm actually dating? And I got a girlfriend. So this isn't a situation where like, I gotta carefully court because I might not see this woman again. So let me pick and choose. I know I'm gonna see this woman again. I know I'm gonna see her. But how often at 167, me and my girlfriend can't go out, and maybe we picking the two expensive restaurants, but we can't go out without spending $100 or close to $100. When I'm talking about real date, I'm talking about dates, real date. And I like it. Let me say this. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Y'all know, if y'all don't know, y'all better find out. I am bougie. I like to be out there. For real. Why would I spare an expense? Alexander says, I know this is high end and shit, but 16 for asparagus is absurd. Listen, like you followed it up, max twice a month. If I'm going out once a month, twice a month, I'm not worried about the $16 asparagus. I'm not.
Oh man, not again.
I'm just not. I'm not worried about that. I don't care. I do not care. I won't do this again for another month or two.
Oh man, not again.
I don't care. I don't go out like that. Now, if this was an every weekend thing, I might be more reserved. But the way my schedule is set up right now, I can't go out every weekend. But even if I did. So this is a one-off thing. I know some people go out and eat every single night. That's crazy. I might do things a little bit different. But this is a one-off situation. So why would I care? I want my experience. I want to have it all in. So when I say, and mind you, the other thing about it is I might not ever go there again. We might not ever go there again. I might not ever go there again with my girl. I might never, ever, ever, ever go there again. So if we do go there, this is oh yeah, I've been there, I did that, and I bought the t-shirt situation. You think I'm going to care about $16 asparagus? And you see how I upped the price? Because don't ask me about no $3 cheese. I'm eating the $3 cheese. I want it.
Man, not again.
Double up. Double up. Double up on the cheese. Double up. Double up on the cheese. So, and I'm saying this because dating is an experience. People look at those prices, and mind you, when I was 17, I couldn't imagine going to these types of places. I couldn't imagine going to these type of places, right? Couldn't imagine going to it. I'm going out for an experience. And I want to say, especially if I'm dating somebody for the first time or whatever, I want to say, you know what? The experience was great. There were no underlying factors. You know, there wasn't no oh, the cheese was expensive or valet or all this other stuff that was out of my control that potentially ruined the date. I was on my A game. I gave her the 5-star experience and she still messed it up with her personality. I want to be able to say that at the end of the night. I want to be able to say, you know what? There was nothing else we could do. Have y'all ever heard the expression leaving it out all on the table? And I know people think I'm tripping. I know people think that I'm tripping. I'm going to leave it all on the table in this situation. I'm going to give this date everything I got from a financial standpoint, from a physical standpoint, from a mental standpoint, all that. I'm going hard. And if it doesn't turn out well, hey, it wasn't on nothing that I did. I gave it everything I had. And I'll probably never go to this place again. Because the last thing I want to do is say, man, ooh, you know what? Yeah, man, I've been thinking about that Samuelson hamburger this whole week. Yeah, man, I went there with a little shorty. Went there a couple weeks ago. Man, that burger was fire. That burger was gas. That shit was the bomb. Boy, that burger was so damn good. I just wish I knew what it tastes like with cheese on it. I knew it would be better than what it is. I know if I added cheese to it, it would have been better. No, I'm leaving it all on the table. I might never go again. Can't be me. He's cheap because he had the money. It's $3. You were in a restaurant where the burger was $21. They were getting Branzino. And for those that don't know, Branzino is an expensive fish. I'm looking at this right now. We're looking at like $15.99 a pound. That puts Branzino over like salmon. And you can only get it at certain places. This Branzino fillet is what's it called? This Branzino fillet is $29.95. That's 1 pound of Branzino. It's an expensive fish. So we're talking about a restaurant that's expensive. We're talking about a restaurant that's expensive. Went to Milo's on Memorial Day, blah, blah, blah. You can go up to the counter where the fish is laid out and pick yours. The prices were generally range from $50 per pound, but that is for the whole fish with many parts you will not be eating. My wife and I chose Branzino, which did not have a label indicating. The fish wound up costing us more than $150 and was barely enough for 2. Branzino is an expensive fish. Branzino's not a cheap fish. Y'all saw that, right? Y'all saw how expensive that Branzino was, right? It's not a cheap fish. So for you to go to a place that serves Branzino and then want to skimp on the $3, it's a sign of being cheap. Sorry, not sorry. Period, not period. Pooh. Fuck this nigga talking about. And I don't care what nobody says. Budgeting and all that other stuff. Don't date like that. Don't date like that. He didn't want the cheese. That's fine. You're cheap. All that can be cool. Let me send this invite out if anybody wants to come up here. Niggas is tripping. Niggas is actively tripping. I showed y'all that hey, it could be a lame ass take all you want, but it's the truth. I showed y'all that Marcel's restaurant, and if you can't afford it, don't go to it. Just don't go to it. And there's nothing wrong with that, but just don't go to that restaurant. That restaurant is not for you. Just don't go to that restaurant. Period, point blank. Nothing more, nothing less. Samuel says, yo, I was gonna ask how you make it through college. Me personally, I worked. I wish I wouldn't have worked. If I had the stability and ability to not work, I wouldn't have worked. I would have landed some internships in the field that I'm in, and they would have paid me like 60, 70K to do the internships. So, yo.
Oh, what's up? I'm out here. So,
Yeah,
a long
man.
time ago, you were talking about the John Major situation, and at the end of that video you made one short video at the end of the whole thing. Maybe you made another video. Anyway, I was wanting to ask you what you think about masculinity, if you could put it into like one word. I particularly think about the black masculinity.
One word I would say mysterious, but I saw FD Signifier do a video on it, and I think I want to do a video on it as well. I mean, it's a bunch of different things, but ultimately it's something that you define that is never harmful. Masculinity should never harm anybody. Men, women, children, no matter the race, no matter the gender, the sexual orientation, none of that. So masculinity is whatever you define that's not harmful and that's not looking down on other, groups of people.
Okay, I guess I don't know if anybody else wants to get up here, but it's like a second thing was you just talking about dating culture and stuff like that, and I was wondering what you think about alternatives. Like, you're with a girl now, so how do you see getting with her, maybe specifically, or someone else, without dating culture, or et cetera, et cetera?
So my thing is, I never dated like in the traditional TV sense. Walked up to a woman, hey, you're beautiful. I would love to take you out on a date. That's too risky. It's already too. It's all about, what is it? Risk aversion. What is your risk analysis looking like? Chances of you getting dubbed when it's just a cold call, high, right? Chances of it being a bad date when it's a cold call, bad as well. I tended to stay in similar circles, if that made sense. So, familiar circles. So work is a great place to find somebody. School is a great place to find somebody. Church, any activities that you're involved with, great place to find somebody. If you have a common ground like the gym, you find somebody that goes to your gym. That's a great place to find somebody. But at that point, I know a little bit about them, and I have opportunities to get some baseline things without having to come out of my pocket and giving them the ability to lie because it's in this environment. That's one. Two, I would try to build a foundation that's a friendship before I, get into actual dating. Now, I will say this, it's a little hard to make the distinction, but you do need to make the distinction at some point that you're pursuing this person more seriously than just being friends, because a lot of folks can get stuck in the friend zone that way.
So, you think that it's probably smart? Not this is putting words in your mouth. I don't put words in your mouth, but do you think it's intelligent for a man to be looking at multiple women at once?
Absolutely. Everybody should be looking at multiple people at once. Absolutely.
Hey, I just want to come up here real quick and ask you those. I've been thinking about that, trying to ask that on the pod, but glad to get you here. You're doing good work, man. Love it.
Appreciate you. Bring up one other person. Yo.
What the word is.
What's good?
I just wanted to come up here real quick because coming up my dad was always telling me like don't go on dates and like poor women if you can't afford it. So like this whole cheese situation has been real interesting to me because it's been like at the end of the day I get it off of principle, not paying $3 for cheese, but also going out and not like preparing to like pay extra. And also if he wasn't gonna pay three extra for cheese, what is he gonna tip the waitress? So that always just was kind of weird to me.
I don't agree with the philosophy of you can't date if you don't have money. I think that people need to learn ways to be creative, especially men, because when Alexander asked about what is masculinity to you, uh, I could there's a lot. I think it's easier to say what it's not as opposed to what it is. One of the things is it's not tying your value to money. So when you talk about don't date unless you can afford or whatever, what does that really mean when you can afford a bunch of different things that don't cost a lot of money? You can afford walks, you can afford coffee, you can afford a little Chick-fil-A, you can afford a little Panda Express, you can afford a little small date or whatever, Applebee's, scale it up. You can afford these smaller things. It's not always from here to here because at that point now you think everything is just tied to money. My value is tied to money. Now I'm acceptable enough to put myself in the dating pool because I can afford this Nobu date. Now I can afford this level of date. You should be, and what I think is messed up is that now it's taking people longer to reach these thresholds of earning enough money to afford these places. So now people are more confused than ever when it comes to dating and when it comes to, living life or navigating life or whatever. When you don't need all that money in order to be happy and successful. Um Learn to be romantic without depending on money. Valentine's Day doesn't have to be a Birkin. Birthdays don't have to be a Birkin. Can you be romantic spending less than $20? And if you can't answer that, then you need to go back to the drawing board because your love should not be attached to your wallet as a man. But I know that's
No,
probably not
that
what you
that
asked
that
for.
makes sense.
You said what?
It's not, but like I said, that makes sense though. That makes sense. I get it. I appreciate your time.
No problem, pops. Listen, man, we're putting the cheese debate to rest. Don't want to talk about it no more. Don't want to hear about it no more. I think people need to understand that this person displayed cheap actions. It is what it is. There's nothing wrong with him being cheap. Just know in the courting phase, this is how this can be perceived. And you don't want to come off as cheap if you are trying to secure a woman. That's me and my advice. Okay. Like I told y'all, if you think you're going to skip out on valet and all that other stuff, nah. Saving those $3 too. And I know this is really capitalistic to me. Saving those little $3 is not going to turn you into the next Bill Gates or whatever. The only way to shift yourself out of that position is to make more money. So always work on your skills. Always work on you as a person. The biggest and best investment and the first investment you should be making is in yourself, first and foremost. All that index, crypto, all that, invest in yourself. That way you'll be able to make more money, and that way you'll be able to afford $3 cheese like Uncle Omar.
Oh man, not again.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, I'm about to get out of here. I am graduating soon. Soon. Let me show you guys what I mean by soon, because a lot of people don't understand by what I mean by soon, and I be trying to tell my compadres what soon is. Try to tell my classmates every time we have a meeting every single Sunday, and I tell them, hey man, that end is coming. And I graduate too. So I graduate. Big round of applause for me. We just came out of spring break. March 19th. It is now, and mind you, we're 1 week removed from spring break. Today is the 24th. The 24th. So we're talking a full month. 1 full month, 4 weeks. Wow. Puts it all the way into perspective. 4 weeks from now, classes will be ending for me. Damn, that's tough. Final exams. I only have 1 final exam. The other one's a project. And this week right here during final exam week, I will be presenting my projects. And what is the 24th? Can we pull up a calendar to see what April 24th, what day of the week that is? That's a Monday. That 24th, I will be doing, this week right here, I'll be presenting my projects, and it'll really be this day. I'll probably have an exam here, 2 projects here, and that'll be it for me. That'll be it for me. So, it is winding down. But with that being said, I say all that to say, my bad. Classes end, final exams here. Don't really have any final exams. Have 1 final exam, have 2 presentations. One of them's recorded, so I'll just turn that in. That'll be easy. And then one of them is in person. That's also easy though. This day right here, that May 4th, that is the day that I walk the stage. Yeah, that's the day that I walk the stage. That is the day that I walk the graduation stage. This is why you couldn't be the photographer, but nevertheless, yeah, that's the day that I walk the graduation stage. With that being said, the content will be slow. And while I am spending an hour post-pod, we did a 3-hour podcast tonight for you guys. Then we did another hour for the Hall of Famers. And then I did another hour on my stream. And now I'm about to do another hour of coding for one project or for one lab. And then I'm about to do another hour for another homework assignment, the big project. Our project's almost done, but I think I'm just going to bang out an hour. I think I want to bang out another hour. But if you're wondering where the videos are, that's where the videos are. The videos are the energy for the videos are into completing school. I'm not saying nothing will come. This was an impromptu stream right here. This came. My 2 focuses are finishing school. And then y'all seen the Instagram, not the Instagram photos, but the photos on Twitter and stuff like that. I'm back in the gym heavy. My meals are heavy. I'm focusing on the gym, but the gym and the school, those are the 2 things that I am heavily focused on. We will get videos on this channel soon again. We'll get some streams on here soon again. We will be streaming the graduation party itself, but for now, just be patient with me, and I appreciate you guys. But with that being said, I'm going to get to work. Good night, guys. See you next time. Bye, guys. Bye.
In that moment.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't going to correct you. So.
Did you know?
No.
No. How did you not know what time I watered my lawn?
I don't know.
I was in bed by that point. It was late in the UK. GMT.
I will have you know that we did a bunch of testing back in the day, in the early days of GT Live, and we live streamed at multiple different points.
Sure.
Yeah. And we designed it to be a very specific experiment to see what time got us the optimized, viewing time for East Coast, West Coast, as much as international could attend. And 4:00 p.m. Pacific ended up being it.
Well,
because it's like post dinner time East Coast, it's like after school time West Coast. It's late, obviously, in international territories, but not like so late.
Yeah,
well,
Friday's not so bad because it's like midnight. So
right, exactly, and it's
that's
Friday.
not- So it's Friday, so
like
yeah.
a party.
I have a
Party
question.
time.
I might have an answer.
Can we do a clap and a half together?
We'll have to earn it.
Oh, we have to earn the clap and a half.
That's
sink.
I'll learn it.
You don't just give away.
I'll learn it. I'll learn it. I remember the story. Wasn't it because a teacher from your childhood?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell this story?
No, please.
Okay.
I think you're doing great.
I don't
recount.
remember. But it was a teacher from your childhood that you didn't like because you overworked on a paper and she was like, "Oh, I don't like this. I'm not reading this." And then
I remember very specifically.
Was it she that
this was an episode of Mario Maker where I told this one.
Was it she the one that did the clap and a half?
Yeah.
And then you just adapted it from there.
Pretty much, yeah. So, great, good one. It was so the clap and a half. Here, that deserves the clap and a half, actually.
There you go.
That is so cool. Okay.
That was the best jump scare ever.
I'm sorry. Oh, that is so cool.
Someone please clip that and insert it into the FNAF Ruin DLC.
Exactly.
We just need that.
Better jump scare than anything in Security Breach.
Whoa!
No, I take that back. Mapbot.
Mapbot.
That guy. Best jump scare.
So anyway, no, the story behind the clap and a half was my 7th grade teacher. She was my social studies teacher. I shall not name her. I probably did back in the day, but that was before I knew better than to name people.
You did.
Yeah, we all learn and grow on
That's
the
all right.
internet. We all learn.
Yeah.
But she, on the first day of school, she presented, or roughly the first day of school, she presented us all with a, like, encyclopedia research challenge. And so we were broken up into teams, and it was like, here's a paper, and the winner is going to get a really special reward, right?
Yeah.
And it's the first day of school, so you want to really impress the teacher, or at least I did, because I'm a critical overachiever. Everyone else was probably like, this is the first day of school, why can't I be at summer vacation again?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, I must prove my worth to this teacher. Oh, Super Saiyan mode activate. And so we beasted through this paper. We crushed it. No one even stood a chance against us.
Oh, yeah.
I handed it in. She double checked everything. And she's like, all right, class, you know, this team definitely won it. So we got to give them their prize. And everyone's like looking at each other like, what the heck? What's this prize you're talking about? And she's like, we got to give them a clap and a half. And again, everyone continues to look confused at each other because it's like, what is this entity? This is not a thing that exists.
We were not told about this ahead. This is
No,
not
we
approved
did
by
not
corporate.
rehearse this. At which point she's like,
Now
In that context, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, this thing. I know.
so
I think
sorry.
this is actually me learning the origin. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's
Really?
cringy.
Oh.
That's
Oh.
so bad.
Oh, and that's
I'm so
happened.
glad you reclaimed that.
and then over years we reclaimed it. But no, that set the tone for that class and that year, 7th grade, worst
That
year
is
ever.
rough.
Oh, it was rough. Oh man. Oh yeah, there are some crazy stories about my 7th grade teachers. I mean, she also throughout the course of the year just like had a lot of rage issues.
Was she rubbish?
She was a lot of things.
She was a lot of things.
She's also the one who like launched a overhead projector at a wall at one point. So like there was a lot of stuff.
I had a teacher who threw the projector out the window.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
I didn't have
like
any
one of those old ones. Like
I didn't have any projector incidents, but I did have a sports teacher throw a bin at my head.
When you say bin, like a laundry
giant-
bin or like a trash
one
bin?
of those giant trash bins that you have in like public areas.
Wait, really?
Oh yeah,
Like Donkey Kong? Like he hurled
got
it at
so
you like
mad
Donkey Kong?
that so many people stopped showing up to practice because we all got bored of his stuff.
So he threw it at the people who showed up.
Yeah.
Darn you kids who don't show up! I'm gonna
and
punish the ones who do.
And then, fun fact: immediately after that, my choir teacher was like, "By the way, we're moving rehearsal dates to the same day. It's this day, same day as your rugby practice. So guess which one I picked?
Wow.
Going through his bin, singing my little heart out,
and thus the roads diverged,
and that was my choose your own adventure
I was gonna say,
moment.
and thus everyone has wound up in the couch that matches my jacket. Fantastic.
Okay.
So anyway, hey, enough about us. Although I'm sure more will come up later. We should probably hop into the actual thing that people clicked on this video to watch, right? Which is a general discussion of FNAF and FNAF related content.
Yeah.
Right? What do you say,
Right.
Ash? As master of ceremonies.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
I
probably
guess.
should, right?
Probably should.
You look pained.
But be
no.
sure to use hashtag GT Live on Twitter so that I can see your little tweets.
Wait,
and
are you on Twitter and the chat?
yes, you can also at me. If you look up Ash GT Live, I'll probably be the first thing that shows up. So you could do that, but be sure to throw in hashtag GT Live. That's how I'll see it. And also the chat. And speaking of which,
Speaking of the chat,
chat,
let's hear some spicy chat.
Mini Theory asks, Ash, are we fragments of Matt's imagination too? Because now they are all in the live stream.
They are figments of
that's a
your
question for you.
Oh,
claim
yeah,
them?
I am the one perceiving them.
You are.
Yes.
Y'all
You
are
are.
figments of my imagination.
This goes deep.
Layers.
It's like a nesting doll of
It is.
imagination, honestly. So Ash exists within my imagination, thus you exist within Ash's imagination, because I can't see what they're reading right now.
Yeah.
No.
I have no idea what they're seeing. So
Yeah.
it's one
No.
of those things where you are just creating that out of thin air.
Just
so welcome,
pulling
your
it out.
imagination.
Yes.
YouTube itself as an entity. I am literally sitting alone on a couch in front of a camera that is not turned on right now.
Yeah.
There is no platform known as YouTube.
I mean, the walls are padded.
They are.
Oh. That took me a brief moment. Yeah.
All right. So another thing.
Yeah, give me one more, and then
Yeah,
we're gonna
yeah.
hop into the FNAF book, I guess.
Yeah.
I go back and forth between like shouting into the mic and then talking like this. So I need to pick a struggle. But
Or volume.
or volume, a struggle.
Pick your poison, Ash.
So Jack May / Aqua Hunter on Twitter says this: watching from the UK.
Yes!
Grinding out university dissertation through the night.
Yes!
Respect. Good job.
Wow.
So best of luck. Hope you make so much progress. And
Yeah.
you know, I'm rooting for you. Couch, are you rooting?
Absolutely.
I'm giving a clap and a half for that.
Come on.
There it is.
There it is.
Nice.
Perfect.
It's so cool.
Okay.
Okay.
So all that being said, let's hop in, shall we? So one of the things that all of us collectively have been slowly working our way through, and we've all independently reviewed this document in bits and chunks, right? But the thing that has been most recently thrust into the lore, outside of like movie leaks, has been the actual like character encyclopedia, right? So we did a live stream the day it came out. Ash and I talked about a couple of the weird entries in there. I think we covered like Crying Child. We covered the mediocre melodies, which is when I got really hype about the fact that it seemed to confirm one of the theories that I had going for a while. Stuff like that. We called out the fact that Mike Afton doesn't have a page, which seems like a big oversight and kind of like a big secret thing.
Yeah.
But obviously there's still a lot in here to discuss. You have read different pages. You have read different pages. There are still pages that I would like to explore, even though the timeline is off and done. There's still, there's
always
a couple
more
days.
theorizing to do.
Well, there's always a couple days too where I can pivot things and write a pickup in there or something.
Yeah.
Erase, rewrite it in. Seamless.
There you go.
Yeah.
No.
So that being said, John, since you are actually the guest on the couch,
wow.
Let's pull up the book. Do you have anyone that you'd like to specifically look at
Let's
or
talk
talk
about. Let's talk. I want to do the locations, but let's do Golden Freddy first.
Okay.
Because I think Golden Freddy is really interesting.
We did not do locations last time. I think that is worth us talking about
For sure.
And it's funny. The fact that you call it Golden Freddy, I'm actually shocked that Golden Freddy wasn't the first thing I jumped to when this thing launched. It's like, whoa, that's a character I need to hear about. Okay.
Okay.
In Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, gold strikes you. Wow. Wow. It's a
Great.
I mean,
it's a choice.
Yeah.
the puns are strong in this
when
one.
you're writing a couple hundred pages worth of characters and all of them are just variants of the same thing, like, I get it. Golden Freddy, animatronic bear. Interesting. Okay, he is listed as an animatronic bear,
but they never show him as an actual animatronic
so that's
mode.
Right. That is interesting. So he's in 1, yes. 2,
yep.
Yes.
Yes.
3,
yes.
Yeah.
He shows up on the left as a phantom animatronic.
Yep. 4.
Yep.
4. He is.
Well, if you want it, it depends.
Do you
on
want
how...
the technical answer?
Sure.
Go for it.
So
please.
Golden Freddy is not listed as the same thing as Fredbear in the Ultimate Guide.
Correct. Yeah.
So Golden Freddy doesn't technically show up in FNAF 4.
Right.
But I'm sure. But Fredbear does. So it depends if you think Golden Freddy and Fredbear are the same thing.
Because you see the animatronic obviously in
is
the family diner chomping on a little boy's head.
But this is really interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry. The model for Fredbear in Ultimate Custom Night is the same as the Freddy from FNAF 1.
Yeah.
And that is listed as being Fredbear.
Yes.
So that is the model we
yeah.
see in FNAF 1, which means Golden Freddy's probably Fredbear, but the Ultimate Guide's just being a little goofy.
Yeah, right. It's being a little sneak.
Yeah.
5 Nights at Freddy's sister location, that one is... he's not in there. There's Yendo, which implies that there's a yellow endoskeleton. Yendo,
Yes.
Which we should also check out as part of the stream
for sure.
Because I'd love to talk about him because he's always been a weird non-canon question mark character. Like he's thrown in strangely.
He's around.
I'm just curious what they have to say about him.
Yep.
But I also know that the ultimate challenge, right, of Sister Location is in Custom Night Golden Freddy mode, where everyone is cranked up to max, and that's how you unlock.
And
the,
there
like,
is a little
Father,
plushie,
it's
and
me,
then,
Michael.
And then there's the plushie of Golden Freddy.
Fred Bear. We had
sorry.
the one with the little walkie-talkie.
walkie-talkie.
Ultimate Custom Night, obviously. Five Nights at Freddy's AR special delivery. Okay. He is not listed in Security Breach.
Dum dum dum.
Interesting. All right. The mysterious Golden Freddy appears frequently. Because no, there is Golden.
Is he in Security Breach?
No, technically
no,
he's in. So there's a Golden Glamrock plush that everyone was like, it's Golden Freddy, but it's not. It's Golden Glamrock Freddy.
There's a,
or whatever.
Yeah, there's a section of
and
Golden
there's ones. and there's the speculation around whether Cassidy Princess or
Cassidy is the
princess, the golden yellow princess in the Princess Quest minigames, but Golden Freddy itself is not in there, I guess.
As a bear.
I'm trying to think if I remember any arcade cabinets. Because
that's what I was about to say.
Because there's so many darn arcade cabinets. I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't doubt it, but
But maybe they were careful with that because of Princess Quest.
Although I will say this book is very inconsistent with which animatronics it counts as being in Security Breach because of an arcade cabinet and which ones it is not. Because like Night Marion is not mentioned as being in Security Breach.
Interesting.
Despite, I think, or it's like it either is or isn't, but then there was another one of the other puppets which are on the same cabinet aren't mentioned as being in Security Breach.
Yeah, so...
Okay, the mysterious Golden Freddy appears frequently in the world of Five Nights at Freddy's. He looks like other versions of Freddy, except for his yellow fur and missing eyes. Yellow fur and missing eyes. That is interesting.
Well, they were furry, weren't they? In the first, or they're supposed to be.
Well, early ones were furry, right? So that says Springtrap. I mean, it's not a toy animatronic. Shock of all shocks. Missing eyes.
It's not plastic.
He's got a microphone and everything, but he can be hard to see. In the original game, Golden Freddy is rarely found Easter egg. Camera 2B can be used to view a Freddy poster that'll occasionally switch to an image of Golden Freddy. This will summon Golden Freddy to the office, and a jump scare will result. Unless the monitor is brought up, it's possible to prevent him appearing at all if you can manage not to look at the poster. You can also make Golden Freddy appear by putting 1987 on the custom night setting, which crashes the game. Who's in there? This seems to confirm the ghostly weird nature of Golden Freddy. The fact
this
that
is what I wanted to talk about.
You can... Hold up. You can also make Golden Freddy appear by putting 1987 on the custom night settings, which crashes the game. This seems to confirm the ghostly, weird nature. Yeah.
Oh, I have a theory.
Okay, great.
I have a theory.
I just think this is one of those moments where the lore evidence gets to a weirdly meta level, where it's like, well, if you put this thing in the game, it summons him, which in turn makes this a ghostly thing.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's one of those meta clue moments that sometimes rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
He doesn't move around in the same way as the other animatronics, but exactly what he is, we don't know. A withered-looking version of Golden Freddy appears in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 more frequently than in FNAF 1. It appears lying lifelessly on the left side of the office, or as a giant floating head in the hallway.
Yeah.
Its jump scare also involves the body vanishing if you don't put the mask on fast enough. Gold shines even in darkness. Golden Freddy not so much. Okay, theory.
I think I know who the Vengeful Spirit is. It is not Cassidy. Because in Ultimate Custom Night, there's always this thing that didn't sit right. It uses...
Wow, already you're starting off spicy.
Sorry.
No, that's
day one.
Well, as I'm updating my theory, that one will require a lot of rewrites.
Yeah,
that might throw things off.
Let me rewrite. No, tell me about it.
In Ultimate Custom Night, they use he/him pronouns for Vengeful Spirit.
They do. That is true.
That's true.
That has always bothered me.
Sure.
Has it not bothered you? I mean, Cassidy is a unisex name.
Cassidy is a unisex name.
But, Cassidy's a princess. We get into that. But the simpler answer is what this says. You can also make Golden Freddy appear by putting in 1987. This seems to confirm the ghostly weird nature of Golden Freddy.
Okay.
So that means tells me that the Bite of 87 and Golden Freddy are connected.
I mean, yes, that does seem to imply that, right?
So, if the crying child is in Golden Freddy, and Golden Freddy, or
which in and of itself is kind of frustrating because
or Fredbear or whatever.
Well, no, which in and of itself. So if 1980, I will say this, right?
Yes.
So that already is a bit of a frustrating detail because if 1987 and Freddy are Golden Freddy are connected, the Bite of 83 is almost invalid because basically the thing that you kind of connect the dots here.
I'll get to it.
Okay, great. Well, let me
you
connect the
can-
dots
you
for
can
that.
go ahead.
For all the people who don't
I know.
obsessively study FNAF, let's
sorry.
let's not make 5 logical leap
You're
conclusions
right.
here. 'Cause we think about this franchise a
Yeah.
lot more than the lay viewer, which good for you.
Yeah.
Go out, touch all that grass, my friends.
Yeah.
Because grass is a beautiful thing.
It is.
That I'm allergic to. No.
Me
I
too.
I do get a little bit itchy though. Like,
Yeah.
well, sometimes I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
But it's great anyway.
Yeah.
It smells so nice. But anyway, 1983, right? Crying Child gets bit by Golden Freddy.
Yep.
At which point you have the phone calls.
Yep.
From FNAF 3, where it's like, there was a incident at a sister location where there were multiple spring lock failures.
Yeah.
And so as a result, we're retiring these things and putting them to a different location.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That is how it goes. So the general thinking
Mm-hmm.
is that, hey, the spring lock failures were 1983, clamped down on the kid. As a result, they get retired and put away and hidden away to a different location. Hence why. So by 1987, presumably, he should be out of the picture.
Yeah, for sure.
So the idea of the bite of 87 being a thing that he's connected to, unclear.
And especially as he can't wander around because he's in suit mode.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. Because if it was another animatronic, he was just wandering around the place. You maybe justify, he's possessed and he's gone and bit someone, but we only ever see him like this.
The other trick with all this, and then John, you can tell us your theory. The other trick here with all of this is in 1987. Again, that is the era of the FNAF 2 location, based on the paychecks that we see there.
Yeah,
and we know that there is a set of 5 kids who die in there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So we know that there are 5 dead kids. We see William Afton roaming around. We see Puppet floating around. Problem with that one is, like, well, maybe Golden Freddy was stuffed in 1987. That's when he became possessed.
Yeah.
Problem there is that at that point, the original animatronics are already the withered animatronics, which implies that they've already been stuffed. We also already see them free moving around the location. So, again, if you were to say, then the dead kids got stuffed in 1987, that almost becomes invalidated because the wizards already exist for a reason there. So, okay, that being said, go forth.
That kind of ruined a lot of it. But my thought process was, if Crying Child gets bit in 1983, that's how he possesses Fredbear, or Golden Freddy.
Yes.
And then Golden Freddy's connected to the bite of 87. He bit someone back. Vengefully. So he's
Cassidy
the
bites
vengeful
back.
spirit. Because
Okay.
I feel like
Grimes,
that's so weird. And then I also I've had a thought for a long time that
Would you say it's a hypothesis, a
hy-
thought, a theory?
yes.
What level of theorizing is going to happen here?
Wherever the lowest one is. So
a random observation, completely unsubstantiated.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
So was the bite of 83 a spring lock failure?
So-
Because his mouth was doing this. Already.
It's interesting. As I was explaining this, and as I was talking through everything that I just ranted about, you're absolutely right, and that's the one. That is the.
I could say some more about that.
No. But that is the counterpoint here that I think is definitely worth discussing, which is the spring lock failure that gets all the suits to be retired William Afton's death.
No.
Well, great.
Well, maybe.
Well,
but,
great.
But when the suits are in animatronic mode, which it is in FNAF 4, Fredbear is, the spring locks aren't open to clamp on anything. They're closed.
Yeah.
And he's already doing this.
Sure.
So what if the spring lock failure is Elizabeth?
What?
No, because it's
because
a claw
of the
that
if
grabs
the
him.
fun times.
I
have
would
spring
call
locks.
a giant claw launching out of
Because
my
baby-
abdomen
but
and
baby's not
grabbing
a-
a small child a spring lock failure.
But what happens in the books? That's how Charlie dies to Twisted Freddy. She gets in the stomach.
She gets vored.
And then the spring locks kill her, but then, all the rest happens about being a robot. But
The
the
difficulty
books
is
made
that
that very clear.
But why then would the yellow suits be retired?
Because they are also
the-
because they are also spring locks.
I guess it says the spring lock suits, not the yellow suits, right?
Yes.
No, you're right.
Spring lock
Okay, that's
suits
fair.
would be
Yes,
retired.
and then when William Afton starts using
Yo, everyone.
Pause.
GT Live is trending on Twitter.
Let's go!
Let's go!
You say that like it's a good thing.
Yeah,
That makes
running
me
on
nervous.
Twitter is normally not a good thing.
I am
No.
scrolling through and having an excellent time.
As
I don't know
long
about
as
y'all.
it's GT Live and not MatPat.
It is
as long as
hashtag-
MatPat's
MatPat's
not trending on Twitter, that's all good.
Guys, let's not make this happen.
No, let's make GT Live trend. Yeah, baby.
Absolutely, come on.
Half
Thanks,
of the
everyone.
tweets I'm seeing are just the word vengefully.
Vengefully.
Yeah.
Vengefully.
It is. That's happening. No,
There we
please
go.
make it happen. And Ash is on there. Any good tweets outside of just a whole string of vengefully?
Let's see. What? Let's see. That was off. Let's see.
Hey.
Woo! Let's see what's okay, I'm fine. Good. Great. Yes. Okay. Let's do it.
Here we go.
Neve from Only for GT Live says, I love it when Matthew has people who are equally FNAF obsessed as him to fight back when he says something.
To fight against.
It's not a fight.
It can be,
More like a
though.
gentle-
At Crater Clash 2, we settled it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Me and
Matt
you.
Pat versus
Oh my gosh,
FNAF.
would you punch me in the face?
Absolutely not.
But
I can't afford that lawsuit.
Aw.
No, but if it's in a ring and
you
you're
can do it.
consenting
You
consenting
consent
adults.
to being punched.
Oh, no, I wouldn't. I
No.
couldn't.
No.
It's like that thing how you can't bite your own finger off because even though you could, like a carrot.
Yeah.
Yeah. My fist would just slow down.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
So, like, the entire fight is just you guys both doing slow-mo, pretending
Yeah.
like it's a really big deal and
Yeah.
dramatic. And everyone's
If
just like,
I
"What
got
is
if
happening?"
I got into a fight with someone, who should I fight?
What YouTuber boxing match should we set up right now?
Scott Cawthon. Let out all of that. Those years of late nights. Anyways.
What are you talking about? That guy's retired. He's probably like going to the gym all the time.
Yeah.
Like if I was retired, it's just like gym and beaches.
Exactly.
Like just go world travel, living large,
That's what I would do.
making my movie on the side or
Yeah.
whatever. Great.
Have fun with that.
What about,
Yeah.
what about Dorko? Matt Pat versus Dorko.
No.
I mean, he's very tall.
He's got a good reach.
He's got a really
And he's
you'd
been
be at a
working out,
disadvantage
so-
from that.
Has he?
He has, yeah.
Oh.
He has, yeah. That's
See?
true. I forgot about that.
Everyone's working out.
I know.
This is terrible.
Get behind, buddy.
I do have a lot of repressed rage though, so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
I am
do
Matt's
you?
feisty.
I would say I'm a vengeful spirit as it were. So.
Whoa.
There you go. Matt Pat the
It was me the whole time.
All right.
I've been here the whole time.
Next tweet, Mads at Scrungly Person says, I think Tom would fight Matt Pat if given the chance.
Would you fight me, Tom? Apparently,
Matt's my employer. This is a very awkward conversation.
if I was like, hey Tom, for one day, you can fight me if you so choose. Would you take that offer?
That's not fast enough.
He's
for me.
thinking. He's thinking.
No.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. It
I
doesn't
li- I
have to
like
be
you
a
too
physical
much.
fight.
Huh?
You know, it doesn't have to be a physical fight. You know,
Thumb war?
get into a fight. Yeah.
Have you ever played the poke game?
The
poke
what?
game.
Okay. So we
Oh,
can't
no.
do it because it's too aggressive in this room, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
But basically, you lock hands like this, and you each have like it's called finger
We have to
jousting.
try and poke each other.
You do.
You're gonna win.
Except you can like get all over. Like this is like this one we can do there, but at a certain point you can like do it down the hallway. All like
Wow.
you know, and you're doing it.
You're doing this.
Oh!
Oh my
All that.
god. That is so aggressive as a game.
I know.
What?
I know.
There we go.
It's a fun game. I did it a
Wow.
bunch of times. Like with my residents in college, we would do it all the time, and we would like go up and down the hallways. We'd be like
wow.
jumping off the walls and stuff. Because you're locked in Mortal Kombat until one of you gets touched.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're trapped.
Yeah, it's
that's it.
You're
Yeah.
spring. I can't say
Spring-
that.
You're spring trapped.
I'm the worst.
No, you're not.
Oh,
No,
thank
You're
you.
fantastic.
Thanks.
You're wonderful.
I don't think I would punch anyone.
Yeah.
I would have.
Ooh.
No.
I'm just not that type of person.
No, I've punched one person once, and I was in a blind rage.
Ooh.
I was like 14.
You
Oh.
punched a man?
Oh no, okay, twice.
No, it was
Twice.
a girl.
Yes. No, yeah, no. I
I like
punched,
that he's like no.
no, it wasn't a man.
Like,
no.
what?
What I was saying is no. I punched someone. I punched two people in each
At
one,
once.
separate at once.
just like an epic movie double punch.
No, no. I mean,
I'll protect you.
not man.
threatened me.
Yeah, don't say I could punch a man because like we were 12.
I could
Okay.
punch a
But no,
young adult.
He'd been bullying me for a
An
long time.
adolescent.
A prepubescent boy.
Yeah, no. He'd been bullying me for a long time, so and one day I just got like white rage, just literally just like didn't know what was going on, gave him a bloody nose, and that was that. That was the end of the bullying.
Yeah,
from that point on.
yeah.
I mean, I don't advocate bullying or fight or like punching people,
Yeah.
but it did work.
It does. I mean, it's true. It's true. Well, the one time I had a bunch of bullies at my baseball team, and they teamed up on me in true like bully fashion, and then I flipped one over my shoulder, and like I charged at him, flipped him over my shoulder, ripped my hat back, and that was that. And then
Shut
they-
up.
Yeah, no, totally. Because they stole my hat, and they
Wow.
were playing like keep away, and I'm like, then they've been bothering me for a long, long time at that point. So I like tackled them,
And yeah.
Great.
Wow.
And that was it.
That's the thing. They don't
Sometimes-
expect you to fight
yeah.
back and to actually be strong.
No,
That's the
it's-
thing.
right.
When they bully the theater kid.
Right,
That's
exactly.
what
Yeah,
happens.
there you go.
Wow.
Hey, so Golden Freddy
Yeah.
and
So
Springlock
baby.
failure. So so let's talk about this. What are the dominoes that fall if the Springlock failure is 1987? If the William Afton
Is
getting
the
is the Springlock failure.
failure.
Multiple simultaneous Springlock failures.
Okay.
We hear about that in FNAF 3. We see William Afton's death in FNAF
It can't
3.
be.
Wow.
Why not?
Because the Springlock failure is the reason they retire those suits, and the suit is already retired at that point.
Okay, great. So there you go. So it can't
but
be that.
Baby,
So what is the
Yeah, 'cause
multiple
it's like the
simultaneous
baby,
Springlock failure?
because
It can't be baby.
because
I
when
can't,
he says
in my right mind, say a giant claw launching out of someone's stomach is a Springlock failure. But and,
when
and
he
then
says
they die inside whatever.
when Afton starts using the yellow suit, he sounds surprised. Phone guy does. He's like,
Well,
oh, the
someone
yellow
used it.
one.
Yeah.
It's
Someone
like,
used it.
It's like
a yellow one from
shouldn't
the
have-
back.
Yeah. It's, if that was Baby and Baby is a Springlock suit because the fun times are Springlocks, in my opinion, that would be it.
Which is an
Because-
aggressive opinion.
Well, is it?
Yes.
What is the suit, what is the suit in
Yes.
Night 4 of Sister Location? What do you think the suit is?
I struggle to believe a Springlock could open itself in half and grab a kid without the intention of going, hey, this, and they're meant to carry children. And go, hey, this is going to fail.
Here's why for me, and this might be completely wrong, and I totally own that. For me, at a certain point, there has to be some level of efficiency of storytelling, where an element is an element and isn't like 3 elements, if that makes sense. So, for instance, a Springlock suit and a Funtime animatronic suit feel like they're 2 disparate things that are now merged together into one.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
So, a Springlock suit is a thing, and it's most often associated with the yellow ones, and it's like in an earlier part of the franchise or whatever. So now to say, oh, those Funtime animatronics are actually Springlock suits.
Yes.
It feels
Are also Springlock suits.
Yeah, are also Springlock suits. It feels messy in a way that admittedly makes me uncomfortable, and I don't like from a theorizing standpoint because it's like that's too convoluted.
Yeah.
But I also recognize that might be just my preconceived biases speaking, and that you could absolutely,
Well, for your timeline theory to work, or my theory to work, Chica, the fun times have to be around earlier than we originally thought.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
that means the Springlocks were around earlier than we thought.
Sure.
And the suit in Night 4 is a fun time suit. And it has Springlocks. And
That's
the books
true.
also back this up.
But in FNAF 4, or sorry, in Sister Location, that being a Springlock suit could also just be they were retired down there. Like just because there's a Springlock suit in Sister Location doesn't necessarily mean that all the Funtime animatronics, Ballora, Foxy, whatever, are themselves Springlocks. It could just be, hey, because if you think about the nature of Sister Location, right?
Okay.
Sister Location is an underground bunker where basically the things of the past are left forgotten, right? Let's Baby's my possessed daughter. Let's shove her down there and leave her be. It is basically a storehouse for a lot of things that either failed, never worked, half-completed ideas, just a random assemblage of stuff, right? And so if all of a sudden it's like the Springlocks are getting put in a new location or getting retired to a location where they're never going to be seen again, that could just be underground bunker where things that are best left forgotten go.
I guess.
Also, we see all the Funtime schematics. And they're not listed as Springlocks.
That is actually a great point.
And they have.
What do you mean that?
Oh,
Actually, that is the best piece of
You're
evidence.
the guy who was all big about schematics.
That was amazing. That deserved a clap and a half. That deserved a clap and a half.
I'm not clapping and a halfing.
That deserved a clap.
I will take it.
It's sprinkler time, ladies and gentlemen. It's sprinkler time, sprinkler time, sprinkler time, sprinkler time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Everybody, sprinkler time, sprinkler time, sprinkler time, sprinkler time, it's sprinkler time. Great. That was wonderful.
I'm so glad we did that.
Anyways.
I wonder if anyone has ever changed. I don't.
We can get up on the screen.
I don't own those houses anymore. Or that house anymore. I don't live there anymore. I wonder if that place still has the sprinklers running at that time.
Hopefully,
Because here's the thing. Because here's the thing. Like changing the sprinklers. It's like who's changing the sprinkler settings at a house? I don't know. That's not,
you apparently.
I apparently. But that was because I guess so.
Touche, sir. But we said it at the optimal time, Tom.
We've done
so
experiments.
you don't
We've
wanna
figured
change
it out. Our graph died.
Okay, so that's a little bit.
several
Let's talk about the locations here.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go for it.
So the locations from Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
This book is a guide to the animatronics from Five Nights at Freddy's, specifically what games or books they appear in, their key behaviors and characteristics, and what makes each one special. The content covers the games from the original Five Nights at Freddy's to Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, the novel trilogy, and the Fazbear Frights novellas. There are many references to locations in this book, so there's a helpful breakdown. Okay. The core location, introduced in Five Nights at Freddy's, is Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, famed for its singing anima, which is also interesting because in the leaked photos from the movie set, it's Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place.
Which is FNAF 6, yeah.
Which I don't want to say anything about the leaks because I know a lot of people are sensitive about them.
Yep.
But I will say that is the one. That will be probably the only thing that I will say about it that I've seen circulating on the internet because that is weird to me. That is interesting. The fact that the exterior that we're seeing, unless it's a very elaborate facade, is not.
Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
It is a place that is a name most associated with FNAF 6.
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah, really odd.
Awesome sauce.
Awesome. Okay, famed for its singing animatronic mascots. Well, we say famed, but notorious might be a better word. Okay. It's
We
not.
have the word infamous for that reason.
Right. It's not all about pizza. Fredbear's Family Diner is mentioned in FNAF Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and appears in other games. Okay, Freddy Fazbear. Okay, is mentioned and appears in other games. Okay.
When else does it appear?
Well, it's mentioned in FNAF 2 and it appears in other games. Presumably, that's FNAF 4's minigames.
Oh,
yes.
Right.
Duh. Yes.
Fazbear Frights Horror Attraction features a recreation of Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria and is the main location of FNAF 3. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place is a different location from Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. It's the establishment you must run and design in Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. Hopefully no lawsuits. Okay. Another branch of the Fazbear Empire is Circus Babies Entertainment and Rental, which is that's interesting. It is a branch of Fazbear Empire, so it is associated with
them,
the Fazbear name.
Not just Afton Robotics.
Yeah, so, right, because all the blueprints of the animatronics in Circus Babies are like listed as Afton Robotics.
Yeah.
So the fact that it is under the umbrella core of Fazbear Ent, that's interesting. Which is the main setting of a sister location. Entertainment rentals. I was going to say it's the Circus World. Okay. This establishment rents out animatronics for private events, including its mascot, Circus Baby. Largest Fazbear establishment. So this is interesting. And I was thinking about this as I was writing part 3 of our timeline, which is going up in hopefully this weekend, if not on Tuesday. It depends on how amazing our editors are at this point. So what an interesting thing to me is Baby is still being rented out, even though she is possessed.
And killed a kid.
That is weird to me.
Seems a little reckless on Williams'
I
part.
mean...
Well, yes, but also at a certain point in the franchise, it goes from I need to kill kids to I need to collect remnant. Like... Remnants! Yes.
Yes, Ash, thank you. Thank you for that interjection.
Every time.
Every time.
But yeah, so at a certain point, it very clearly becomes William Afton's goal to collect as much remnant as possible. Like, if you read, trust me, that's not clear from the games. But if you read the Ultimate Guides and this thing, and if you start FNAF AR is a big part of that whole mission, is like, let's send out a bunch of animatronics and collect the remnant. It is very clear that around the time of Sister Location or in the aftermath of Sister Location, the quest, Afton and the quest for remnant is basically the subtitle of the franchise. Where it's
I
like,
love that book.
right? I kind of stand that. Actually, that's a 8-bit minigame that I would play.
Exactly.
If you are a little purple sprite on like a top-down view, like original Legend of Zelda.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're like, dun, dun, and you have your little like Afton crank from FNAF 2.
That's your only weapon.
Take this. It's dangerous to go alone.
Yep.
You know?
You get given your little...
You have like little animatronics roaming around the overworld, and you have Afton like going around like...
You learn to use it like a boomerang.
Oh my gosh. There's like...
long distance.
Instead of like Triforce pieces in all the dungeons, you go into like old animatronic restaurants and there's like a kid. And you're like, the boss battle is like puppet, and you're like, meh, meh, meh. Kid obtained.
It's terrible. Immediate death.
But anyway, the reason I go off on that tangent, right, is because at a certain point you're all about collecting remnant, and the Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rentals is very much a large-scale version of send out animatronics, capture kids, bring them back for me for experimentation.
Yes.
Roughly, right? A fully fleshed out version or a more thought out version of that really seems to be FNAF AR, where, hey, now we have special delivery, ding dong, instead of us coming to you, well, instead of you hiring us to go out, like it's basically a more formalized version of what
and
happens
it's a more
entertainment
widespread
rentals.
version because it's not just like normally it's like we see it's like Criminal Institute or birthday parties
Right.
and private parties.
It is kind of,
also like
whereas
literally
it's
the same, but whereas
50%
now
of
it's
the
like, hey, you can just
characters
have
on
this come to your house.
That is an interesting point. FNAF AR and Sister Location are kind of the same mechanic.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Isn't that
We're just
interesting?
exploring it
And
from
it's,
different perspectives.
This is a big question that I cannot figure out. Do you think Mangle and Funtime Foxy are the same? Because that would be a great point for Sister Location animatronics being around earlier in the timeline.
That's always been one of the things that has bothered me. I mean, it seems like the answer should be yes, right?
Yeah.
And he's getting sent out, and Funtime Foxy is being sent out to birthday parties.
Yep.
Which we literally see in the
And he's
source
getting
code.
ripped apart, and this, Yep. It's interesting.
Something to
isn't
ponder, everyone.
Something to ponder.
Something to
No,
ponder.
I think that is an absolute great call out. You know what else is weird? The fact that in the FNAF 2 minigames, Mangle is one of the only animatronics that is up and moving.
And he's supposed to be one of them that's out capturing Remnant for Afton.
Well,
in Sister Location.
Well, in the Save Them, it's not Save Them. I forget which.
There
which one
are
is
lots
which.
of names.
It's the big one where you roam around the pizzeria as Freddy, and Afton comes out and he's like, "You can't." Save them, you can't. That's it. It's Save Them, you can't.
Yep.
Mangle is down there in the corner, just hanging out, living his life.
Yeah.
Being like, "Woo, here I am," and he's moving, unlike every other animatronic, which is super suspicious.
Yeah, it's still
So, right. Which has always been one of those weird details that wrinkles the back of my brain, and I'm like, I need to solve that.
And then
at some
somehow
point.
he's fixed in the Sister Location.
Is he?
game?
Well,
It's
the
like-
question
Well,
is,
so
what
wait,
made
is
him
this the-
mangled? Was he? Yeah, was it Funtime Foxy, and then he was broken down into Mangle, and then refixed, or is this like an early prototype version of him, and then he becomes?
I mean,
were there just multiple of the animatronics to begin with?
Or
Yeah,
why is Mangle in presumably Elizabeth's room in FNAF 4? Is it a toy? Is it actually Mangle?
Dream Theory.
Or is it a dream?
Or is it
Or is it Dream Theory?
There you go. That's your answer.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably that one.
Right?
Maybe there was an earlier version of the Funtime animatronics, which would be Yendo, which would be Funtime Foxy, that
Lol
prototype.
bit.
Or
Yeah, little bit.
or Dream Theory was correct, and then
It was.
Scott's like, well, let's not do Dream Theory. Let's figure out a way to retroactively make all this work in some sort of cohesive timeline, maybe.
Yep.
But anyway, going back to my original point here, the fact that Circus Baby is being said here to be rented out. And also, I went back as I was working on the timeline. I went back to the original teaser, which to this day is one of my favorite teasers of all time in all FNAF. Scott Games teaser source code. Is this the best one to do? I don't know which one's gonna show it up the best. Maybe it's this one. The teaser finding this one, yeah. Do they have the actual picture of it? I think the picture's better.
Yep.
There we go. Okay, this one. Oh man, look at that spicy ad for the Hyundai. Okay.
You know, they ran an ad in the UK and it's like it's pronounced Hyundai.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Is it
genuinely.
pronounced Hyundai?
Apparently, according to the advert
No!
they were doing, it's like
That's the biggest lore drop of the stream!
I know. I was
Hyundai?
shocked. Yeah, because I was like, because they're basically getting people like
Not
use like
Hyundai?
Siri,
Yeah.
and like and they're doing like Hyundai and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff, and they're just taking them to the wrong places because it's misunderstanding the word. It's like, oh well, it's because it's pronounced Hyundai. Which is just wrong. But it's clearly a
I
market.
have never heard it
No,
pronounced
well,
Hyundai once.
I imagine it's clever marketing to be like, everyone's now talking about the fact it's called Hyundai and not
Is it a
Hyundai.
Britishism, like how you pronounce oregano?
Yeah, we have it oregano rather than oregano.
Right.
But
Oregano.
Oregano. Basil.
Basil's great. I love basil.
That's
Basil.
Basil's a
We should
banger. Like, I feel like the world should just collectively adopt basil.
I agree. Let's have a vote.
Let's have a vote.
Everyone on the planet.
Okay.
Right.
Right now, everyone on the planet, cast your vote down here.
Yeah.
Can you pull up a poll? Polls are a thing.
Polls
on
are-
live streams at this point. Do a poll. Should everyone in the world change to basil? Good luck typing it differently.
Yeah.
Basil versus basil.
Well, yeah, do it phonetically.
Yeah.
That's how you're going to
Oregano. I will say, I
No,
don't wanna
I
adopt
agree.
oregano.
Oregano is better, and it's also the root Spanish word is oregano. So
There you go.
we are actually the ones in the wrong there. I will admit that.
Well, there you go. First time for everything.
I mean,
British.
but apparently Freddie hates the British, according to this tweet from
Wait, what?
Anything Bot.
Why does Freddie hate the British?
Thank you, year two. Thank you, Cameron. 75446217. They retweeted this, but apparently hates the British. It's just a random bot tweet.
Wow.
So there we go.
That's add that to the
I feel
list.
seen.
And the Athens are British.
The Athens are British. Everyone forgets that.
It is a weird detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was Scott being like, "Oh, British people sound mean."
We sound no.
You know?
British people always play the villain. It's true.
Yeah.
Like
they make a good villain.
They do.
Again,
They make great.
I've seen
villains.
car adverts where they literally lean into that. It's like all these British villains going, "There's a reason we play villains," and things like that. It's great, but it's the same thing. And you also then get it with Elizabeth Afton's voice in Sister Location, because you get that creepy, like, oh, cute little British girl, but also you have that sense of creepy nursery rhyme vibe of Daddy.
Yeah, it's true.
Why won't you let me play with
true.
her? It's very like, oh, that's unsettling.
And I love the fact that all of this is happening in like Utah. Or,
Yeah.
or what is it? Hurricane.
Yeah,
Hurricane
it's,
Utah.
It's Hurricane Utah, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which that's at least as established in the books. You know, the games are obviously much more vague about that sort of thing, but like Utah is the location that like gets brought up time and time again in the books. So I think that's funny. Transplants from the UK over to Zion National Park's a great place. Let's hang out there and build our restaurant franchise or whatever.
Yep. There we
Right
go. Why
there
not?
in the middle. Anyway, real quick, going back to this guy. Oh, Ash, do you want to say something before we hop into it?
Are you being perceived?
No.
Okay, you don't wish to be perceived.
I don't want to
Okay,
say
great.
a single
Ignore
thing.
everything that I just said.
Yeah.
In my favorite teaser of all time, though, right? So this is the one that taught us basically the animatronics that were going to be in Sister Location. You had animatronics 01, Baby, BBY, Monday blocked or booked, Tuesday available, Wednesday booked, Thursday booked, Friday available, Saturday private event, Sunday either maintenance or matinee, but we ultimately concluded that it's maintenance. Then you have Ballora, then you have the biddy. What else? You have question mark. You have Funtime Freddy, Funtime FTF, Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy.
Yep.
Like all of them.
Yep.
And so, and again, throwing this out in the lore, and even my complete timeline doesn't talk about this. The Criminal Project, Criminal Institute. Maybe that's part of collecting remnant from the prisons. I don't know, or doing tests on prisoners. I don't know. It's very strange.
Yeah.
Nothing ever comes of it. But the fact that Baby, as a hey, I have Elizabeth inside of me, possessed robot, is still being like licensed out. But hey, go perform for those kiddos. Possessed daughter.
I mean, "I'll make you proud, Daddy" is the line. So I guess she might have been, "Let me go. Let me go willingly, please."
Please stop. I don't want to perform. And it's like Toddlers and Tiaras. Another
Oh,
great
no.
entertainment show.
Isn't that TLC?
You're right.
It might be TLC.
Wow. Good for you.
Thanks.
all the reality TV.
Well done. Oh my gosh.
understanding here.
Thanks.
Did you watch any Toddlers
I
and
watched
Tiaras?
a lot of TLC, not Toddlers and Tiaras, but TLC, yeah.
TLC's got some quality content.
Yeah, Cake Boss.
Right?
I loved Cake Boss.
Cake Boss.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So good. Have you ever been to one of Cake Boss's restaurants?
I have. New Jersey.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Like, hashtag not Spawn, but hashtag would be Spawn. Buddy, get Buddy on the couch next to me.
Yeah.
Great. Best cannolis anywhere. Great cakes. I mean, he is the boss of them.
Mm-hmm.
He is the boss
I think he's recently done some bad things.
Oh,
so,
no.
Or not so recent. So,
Woo!
Don't quote me.
I can't talk about anyone. They all.
No, everyone does a bad thing at some point.
all
It's
do.
so sad.
Darn it. But anyway,
Anyways.
his restaurants are great. They are very tasty.
Yeah.
All right, largest Fazbear establishment so far is Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex and Entertainment Complex. Featured in FNAF Security Breach. At 3 stories tall, it is the flashiest, raddest, rockingest, safest pizzeria the universe has ever seen, says the promotional material, and who are we to disagree? Finally, there's the bedroom, in caps.
This is interesting.
Where a child is haunted by terrible memories of a visit to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza in FNAF 4.
So, you could see this both ways. You could see the crying child had a terrible visit at the pizzeria, but you also could see it as maybe Michael had a terrible time at the pizzeria because he ends up regretting it a little bit.
Yeah, killing his
But
brother.
is Michael a child? That's
What,
the
in
question.
FNAF 4?
In FNAF 4.
I mean, preteen? What are we counting as, like,
I
child?
mean,
What's your definition of child? I think that's the thing, isn't it?
I would list him as a preteen in that moment.
Yeah.
Right? It's a very, like, preteen, teenager moment. And so, to me, I think it fits the realm of possibility, but also, here's the thing. Who we play as in FNAF 4, I don't think changes a whole lot.
Yeah. I think originally it was Crying Child.
I would agree.
But now it's like, ooh.
here's the thing. I agree that originally it was meant to be Crying Child. I think now it fits better with Mike, just because if games 1 through 6 feel really solidly all being played by Mike, or all Mike as the protagonist character. And so if FNAF 4, if it's like Michael Afton, Crying Child, Michael Afton, you're like, like it's one of these things is not like the other. It feels weird and incomplete. And the thing is, we know for a fact, based on the book that's in the other room, the security logbook, which is incredibly much more important than we ever thought. That Mike at some point has seen the Nightmare animatronics. So
theory.
Oh, this is the place for those.
Yes.
We do those here.
What night of FNAF 4 does the Crying Child die? When do we hear the flatline?
It's the last night.
It's the fifth night?
It's the sixth night.
It's the sixth night.
I'm pretty sure.
So
I can double check.
On nights 7 and 8, Crying Child's dead. That could be us playing as Michael, because it's Nightmare Fredbear is the one Michael draws in the logbook, and that doesn't show up. He doesn't show up until those later nights.
That is fair. It's a really interesting point. It's an interesting point. And also, we've established that Mike tends to come in later. So, like, for instance, in FNAF 2, if Mike is truly the security guard in FNAF 2, there's two different security guards. There's Jeremy Fitzgerald, who does nights 1 through 6. And then there is Fritz Smith, who does FNAF 7, or who does night 7. Fritz Smith is Mike Afton, right?
Because, and the cutscenes, because the box in FNAF 4, I think, was a toy box. And because, why is Toy Chica missing her beak, Dream Theory, all that kind of stuff, but it's locked.
Does everyone agree that Dream Theory was like?
Yes.
Can we just?
I think we have to. Surely,
but it's locked.
I appreciate you throwing it out there a bunch of times. I don't want to assume that anyone in there's like okay.
But it's locked, signifying that
5 years later I'm vindicated.
Exactly, indicating to me that kid is dead. So his toy box is now locked, pushed away. This is what caused everything. So
there it is.
It's the timeline of things would match up with the games. I don't know. The nights.
Anyways, it is.
That's interesting.
It is night 6. Is FNAF 4 night 6 secret good ending?
Yeah. And I don't think we ever get a 7 and an 8 in any other game. It's just the custom nights.
Yeah. No. It's there might be a night 7 somewhere, but it's normally custom night. You're right.
Hey,
okay. Hop over to the chat. I'm gonna pick out something else for us to look at.
Perfect. All right. So, hi everyone. Update on the poll right now.
Ooh, where are we at?
Basil versus Basil.
Basil has 56%.
Wow. Represent.
It's
that's
tight,
closer
though.
than I thought.
And Basil is at 44 because math.
Well done. Quick math there, Ash.
Tricky.
So, let's go through the chat. Let's see. Gifted R asks for Little Joe. We spoke about that briefly in our first character encyclopedia video.
We can't talk about Little Joe because Ash doesn't know who Little Joe is.
I still don't know who Little Joe is, and I'm still scared.
Well, maybe we should
He's just a little guy.
He is just a little guy. All right, let's see. Never Foxy says time isn't real and a fun little trophy emoji. Huh, I wonder where you got that phrase from. Let's see. Amogus asks, who is the crying child?
Amogus!
Crying Child is Crying Child. No name given.
Doesn't it feel like we should know the name by this point? And I was like, it's not him. But that one always overrides it. Anyway, Captain Disillusion does really cool like VFX like breakdowns and like let's break down this like fake video or whatever. And I think it was on his channel, but this is the sort of thing he does if he didn't. Where he took like the finale of a Great British Baking Show or Great British Bake Off and